Hey guys, this is F here. Well, I did say that a video like this was coming sooner or later once the time got closer, and well, the time has gotten closer. But before I get started, with the main point of this video, let me first do apologize for all the mic, the finickiness with the mic quality and stuff. I haven't exactly been like having an easy time messing with this mic quality. Even now, I'm still not 100% sure if this is good enough, but I hope it'll be good enough at least to get through Gamescom. But all the presentations happening for this. But yeah, if it still seems like I'm still trying to figure things out, it's because I am. I feel like I'm a bit closer now. I feel like because I now know that the mic on my headset actually has a larger range than my previous headset did. So I'm kind of getting used to that. And so because of that, I'm having to adjust my mic like in multiple different positions. I've got it in a new position now, if you haven't noticed, because of the change in the quality. And hopefully my voice doesn't dip every now and then from the mic not picking up my voice every now and then. I don't know if that's gonna be the case, but we'll see how things go. But yeah, it's we're finally here. It's Gamescom. Gamescom technically starts officially on the 25th, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but presentations, on the other hand, it's not going to be anywhere near as much as it was with E3, not E3 season, back in June. But as I bring that up, as you can see, it's still going to be stuff happening. As you can see, there's four presentations that I've got marked down, um, including two that I'm going to be live streaming. I have been going back and forth constantly about one of them. You probably guess which one it is, but I figured, you know what? Last one was worth it. Maybe this one will be too. So, first things first, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, that's as of this video is recording, 17 hours from now, around that, will be the first presentation. I don't think it's gonna be this one's gonna be very long, and I'm not entirely sure what's going to be in it. But it's a brand new presentation that's debuting this year. Uh, from what I read, this is the first time they're ever doing this, and it's called Pixel Arcadia. Basically, from what I'm reading into it, it's going to be dedicated to retro game. It's dedicated to retro games, but it's going to feature retro inspired games, games that are releasing on retro platforms, new officially licensed hardware. Apparently, like games made for specifically quote unquote games made for retro platforms and quote unquote new officially licensed hardware. So there is that. And they also mentioned re-releases and remasters. So I wouldn't be surprised if collections may be a part of this too. But re-releases, and remasters are specifically mentioned here. So there could be some interesting things that get shown in this. Apparently, I think that if you remember, I think it was last year that He-Man game that got announced. Apparently, that will be in this. That's the only game that I think I recall seeing that's going to be in this. So I'm very curious about what they're going to show in this. Who knows? Um, but that is the first one that they're going to be doing. I don't know how long it's going to go because I don't know exactly. Like I said, this is a completely new one. Like Pixel Arcade is a brand new presentation. They haven't done this before, so I have no idea what I'm in for. I don't know how long they're going to go. I'd imagine it won't go for too long because I think there's only so much they can do with retro related stuff because it's 2026. There's not a whole lot you can really do with retro now because it's retro for a reason. It's been decades. And they do, for the record, they do mention that they consider retro up until the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era. So from I guess 2005 or 2006 and earlier, that's what would get counted in this. So um, I'd imagine it won't be anything. You're not going to see anything like groundbreaking, I feel. But there could be some surprises. You never know. I don't know. Like I said, this is a new thing, so we'll see. But they do mention there's going to be world premieres. There's going to be, you know, um, surprises and world premieres. There's going to be some stuff here announced for the first time. I am very curious on what, but that's just the first one. Like that's just the first presentation that's going to be covered. I will not be live reacting or not live streaming rather. I will not be live streaming my reactions to that. I will be locally recording them because quite frankly, I just don't know what I'm in for. Maybe if I did like if this was like the second time they were doing this and I had something to look to get a better idea of things, I'd be going like I'd probably lean a little bit more towards live streaming it maybe, but for now I'm just going to locally record my live reactions and post whatever goodie like highlights of any goodies I see on there onto the YouTube channel. Then on August 25th is the big one. This is the main event right here, basically. Um, it's another Keighley presentation, of course, but at 2 p.m. Eastern on August 25th. So basically, same hour, premiere hour as Pixel Arcadia, just a day later. Will be Gamescom opening night live. Now, I do say that this is the big one, but I do want to stress that I don't expect anything more. Right now, there's only two things I'm expecting. One, I'm expecting Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which is actually, I'd argue, a bigger deal for me now because I actually have gotten into playing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds finally you know, after over a year of just not being able to, like, this game just not clicking with me. And then, over the summer, finally I had fun playing with it offline, and, I've been playing it every now and then ever since. So I'm actually beginning to enjoy the game now. Like, I'm actually enjoying the game now, mainly offline. Online has been a disaster, but offline has been really fun for me. So, news like more characters and stuff are actually really exciting for me now. I'm really curious to see what they're going to be revealing, especially considering I think this is going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if this is their season 2 trailer, their first season 2 trailer. So I wouldn't be surprised if we finally hear like the first DLC characters and stuff for season 2. We'll see. Um, but Sega did confirm that Sonic Racing Crossroads will be appearing in this. They're going to have some more for that. A new trailer for that game in this. So it's not. I think it was a given anyway, considering Sega really loves Keighley presentations. So they really love to reveal stuff during Keighley presentations, and Gamescom opening night live is the last Keighley presentation that they're going to be getting anytime soon until December when the Game Awards happen. So if there's anything they want to show for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds or whatever, this is a good time for it. And in that sense, since Sonic Pico Park is going to be at Gamescom, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a new trailer for it, including a release date, if there isn't one already, which I don't think there is. So we might actually get a new Sonic Pico Park trailer too. We'll see. Other than that, I think that's going to be all we're going to be getting of Sonic news. I think it's just going to be mainly Sonic Racing Cross Worlds and maybe Sonic Pico Park. But the other big announcement I'm expecting is because they've already announced that this will be happening. Final Fantasy VII Revelation is getting a new trailer. We're getting more information about it at Gamescom opening night live. So I don't know if that's what they're going to be ending it with, or if it's going to be like midway in. I wouldn't be surprised if they ended with it, because that's usually what they do with this. It's like if I remember correctly, when Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was yet to come out and they were promoting it and stuff, I remember them showing news on it at Summer Game Fest, and then Gamescom opening night live 2 months later then. So this isn't really all that surprising, but I remember both times then with Rebirth, they did show it at the end of both presentations. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did the same thing here. I don't know if people are going to be as thrilled about that as they probably would have been if this was Summer Game Fest and Summer Game Fest and they were only just now revealing it. Um, so that's awkward. Like it's going to depend a lot on if you like this game that much, which I do, but I can see how people might not want that to be the end, like the one last thing for Gamescom Opening Night Live, especially considering they have already confirmed that it's going to be there. I feel like that's if that's the case, and I would not make that the one last thing. That's just me though. So, but yeah, so Sonic Racing Cross Worlds and Final Fantasy VII Revelation, both of those alone will make Gamescom Opening Night Live worth tuning into. Um, Honestly, I don't think there's going to be anything else that will get my attention because honestly, Gamescom Opening Night Live out of the three Keighley presentations that happen each year, Gamescom Opening Night Live tends to be the weakest. Um, and it's just mainly because we're still not quite over that 93 season hump. And what I mean is like it's still we're still kind of coming off of 93 seasons, so companies are still kind of recovering from that. They don't really have much to show at the moment. But on the other hand, we're getting close to fall, and usually fall is where things kind of pick up a tiny bit again. With Tokyo Game Show coming up next month, and they got to do that one last push before the holiday season begins in a couple months. Because believe it or not, the holiday season is going to be starting in just a couple months. So yeah, we're kind of in that middle ground right now where it's like we're still coming off of E3 93 season, but also game companies can't really stay silent now anymore because fall and the holiday season are starting to get a little bit closer. It's actually starting it's starting to be something that's like you gotta have it in the back of your mind soon because it's approaching. At least with gaming companies anyway. They gotta actually start considering that the holiday season is getting close. So you know, got to push for it, and they got to talk about games again. Um, so yeah, I don't expect Gamescom Opening Night Live to be anything big. I don't think like Summer Game Fest was probably the best Summer Game Fest we've had in years, in my opinion. And I don't think we're gonna get anything like that for similar to that for Gamescom Opening Night Live. So just a couple of goodies would be fine with me. No big deal. But that's what I'm expecting. Just a couple of, Final Fantasy VII Revelation and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. That's all I'm expecting. Um, Anything more than that will be icing on the cake, really. Now, I should mention, yes, I am going to be live streaming my reactions to that. I mean, it's a Keighley presentation. It's a big one, so of course I'm going to be live streaming my reactions to that. And also there could be Sonic stuff there's going to be Sonic stuff in it. So, of course. So, twitch.tv/Sonic Stadium. Make sure to tune in. It depends a lot on if there's going to be a pre-show. If there is a pre-show, I will go live 30 to 35 minutes beforehand. So it'd be like 1:20, p.m. Eastern, my time. So, give it like 30 to 35 minutes before. If they're not doing a pre-show, they didn't do one for Summer Game Fest, so it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't do one here either. But if they do not do a pre-show for Gamescom Opening Night Live, then I'll go live like at 1:45 p.m. Eastern, so 15 minutes beforehand. So, we'll see. I just don't know if there's going to be a pre-show or not. But judging by what little I've seen, I would not be surprised if there was no pre-show. So, but yeah, I will be live streaming my live reactions to it, twitch.tv/Sonic Stadium. And I will also be live streaming my reactions on twitch.tv/Sonic Stadium to the Future Game Show. Now, normally, like in previous years, whenever the Future Game Show happens at any time other than 93 season, I usually just skip it because, I usually feel like there's nothing to offer me at the rest of the year. And even last year, in 2025, when I checked out the Future Game Show, it didn't really I think I stopped watching like 2/3 of the way in. I think so. That was awkward. Um, but yeah, it this year the featured game show ended up being better than I expected. It helps a lot that I'm really into indie games now, like big time more than ever. And so I decided, you know what, the future game show is worth tuning into and reacting to, even if it's only been a couple months since the last one. Let's see the next one for I guess this is the fall edition, the fall edition of the future game show, even though it's technically still August, but Um, so yeah, that'll be happening at 1 p.m. Eastern time on the 26th. So following day after Gamescom opening night live will be the future game show. I believe it's supposed to go for like an hour and a half or so. So something like that, maybe like hour and a half to 2 hours, something like that. Not entirely 100% sure about that, but in any case, I don't know what to expect from that. Again, I'm not expecting a huge amount of groundbreaking news here because we already know, like, again, it's only been a couple months since 93 season, so there's not going to be any bombshells, there's not going to be any big, like, announcements from this. But it's still worth tuning in. There'll probably still be like, a couple things here that I might be interested in. We'll see. But that's happening at 1 p.m. Eastern time, my time. Um, I will be live streaming my reactions to that, as I said, at twitch.tv/Sonic Stadium. I've been going back and forth about whether to live stream or not. Um, just the basis alone that the featured game show can be kind of, still can be kind of a bit random with what you see and what gets revealed. But after the last, after the previous one from 93 season earlier this year, I think I'm willing to upgrade this to live stream reactions status again. So, but yeah, there's that. And then finally, we close things out with Gamescom-related presentations because, believe it or not, after Gamescom, I'm going to have to do another one of these videos for a couple more presentations that are going to be happening on the 31st and September 1st because they're happening so close together that I'm not going to be able to do a separate video for each of them, but I will get to that, next week. But anyway, so the final Gamescom-related presentation is the one that I'm looking forward to the most. I think it's the second most presentation I'm looking forward to the most. Gamescom Opening Night Live being the first, and then Gamescom Awesome Indie Show being the runner-up. That one is happening at 2 p.m. Eastern. I am very glad that I appreciate the fact that all these Gamescom presentations are happening like in the afternoon for me, and not like 11 in the morning or 10 in the morning. I appreciate that. But yeah, just a side thing. But yeah, the Gamescom Awesome Indie Show is happening. This is not the first time they've done this. They did one last year, from what I read, and this year IGN is producing it, I believe, for the first time. So, yeah, this will be interesting. And yes, I did look into it. There are games like roguelikes and roguelites that they've shown, and genres of indie games that I'm interested in. So you better damn well believe I'm going to be tuning into this. I will not be live streaming my reactions. I will be locally recording them. I do believe they said that this was going for an hour and a half, actually. I'm pretty sure they did. So we'll see how things go. Again, we'll see how things go. But that'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern time on August 27th. And then that's everything. I will be honest, when I started looking into Gamescom presentations, I didn't expect that I would have this many presentations to react to for Gamescom. I was just expecting Gamescom Opening Night Live. But now there's 3 other presentations happening around that time that I'm interested in. Damn, Gamescom's actually going to be more interesting than I thought. This might be the most interesting Gamescom for me personally that I've ever had. We'll see. But yeah. Otherwise, I think that's everything. I can't wait to see some more game reveals, and I can't wait to see some more, trailers and stuff. It's been great. 93 season was this 93 season was groundbreaking and for me personally, the best one ever since E3, ended. So, you know, I can't wait to see if how Gamescom lives up to my expectations. It's not high expectations, just for the record, because like I said, Gamescom just isn't at that. It's Gamescom's at that time where it's just not. You're not going to get any big news, but there's like a few things that might catch your eye or something, and that's what I'm expecting. Just maybe a few things here and there. I'm not going to be swamped with news like I was, during that E3 season and presentations. Like I'm glad that all these presentations are happening on one on each day, so I'm not going to have to worry about any conflictions or anything like that. But yeah, I'm that's pretty much it though. Like I said, next week I'll have more information about two more presentations coming up next week. But for now, I will see you all on the 24th, hopefully, assuming there's some goodies from Pixel Arcadia happening. But I will see you all for the Gamescom reactions. But for now, this is SSF signing out. Sayonara, guys.